Thank you everybody for coming today. We're the University of Denver team, and we are showcasing our build challenge. Just to give some preface, we are the only team that did a retrofit or renovation this year to an existing home. We strongly believe that that is the best way towards a greener future for all, is to instead of demolishing the homes that exist in our community and building right on top of them, but to actually fix those homes and make them more energy efficient and more consumer friendly. So let me start out by introducing our team. My name is Drew Shine. I'm a real estate major with a concentration in property development, and I am planning on graduating shortly this summer. We also have Katie with us today.
My name is Katie Neindorf. I am a master's candidate for the Real Estate in the Built Environment program. I anticipate on graduating in June 2023.
And unfortunately, Zayed had to head out a little early, but you will catch him in a bit. So just to give you guys a bit of a schedule, we have a 4-minute video that we're planning on showing you guys. Feel free to put any questions you may have in the chat throughout the video, and we will get to them right after. My name is Drew Shine.
And I'm Zayed Ansari.
And we are excited to welcome you to our home with a little tour today. The purpose of this project is to set an example with a net zero renovation of a single family residence. With the DU home being located in a floodplain, we developed a cost-effective plan following the FEMA guidelines, which stands for Federal Emergency Management Agency. So what does that all mean? We are challenged to avoid updating the entire structure, as it would require us to demolish the whole building and start brand new. As an alternative, we can make improvements to the structure while at the same time staying below 50% of the structure's estimated value. Local homeowners will be able to download our plans and discover budget-conscious options available to update their existing infrastructure and enjoy the comfort of their home for years to come.
The exterior of our house, we had 2 major alterations. One being the addition of a solar panel array, and the other being the removal of a terrace in the backyard. With the installation of our solar panel array, we were able to exceed the expectations set by the solar decathlon competition of 20 kilowatt hours in a day. Moving on to the back, here's the before and after of the terrace removal. The 2 benefits that homeowners can now experience are natural lighting and passive heating, which is especially important during our Colorado winters. Now that we're done with the exterior, let's move on inside. Come on.
This is a floor plan view of our home. When you first enter through the foyer, there's the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, and then each of the bedrooms, and then move on to the bathroom. Let's jump into the foyer. When you first enter the home through the foyer, you're greeted by the living room with plenty of space to hang out with your family, enjoy company of your neighbors, really get to know one another. You could also always take out your pie. If you're a little too lazy to get off the couch, start cooking it in the original oven. Or you could hang out, take a little break after your long workday, and sit back on the couch and enjoy.
And now we are in our kitchen, where we have our Energy Star rated Beko appliances, where we have a new refrigerator, oven, microwave, and dishwasher. The final touch-ups will be a countertop, a backsplash, and some painting. Now that the terrace has been removed, you can see how much lighting is coming into the dining room and kitchen.
We're now in the hallway of the home. Back here is 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. Ignore that bedroom behind me. It's used for a little storage right now. We're now in one of the bedrooms of the home. Notice the floors, which will eventually be sanded and restained. A window right outside. Do me a favor, ignore the blue tape on the walls. We're still doing some final touch-ups and painting. Because of COVID restrictions, we haven't been able to show you much of the basement on today's tour, because that takes a lot of time to decorate and prep. But this room in particular is absolutely one of my favorites. Look at the floors. The tile is absolutely very funky. Once again, my name is Drew. Thank you for watching today. And hopefully someday I'll be able to give you a personal tour once this pandemic is behind us and the cosmetic changes are all done. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a little fun video for you. Ended up being slightly more goofy than we originally expected it to be, but that makes it more fun. Just to get you guys a little oriented before some questions, this is the front of our home. It was originally built in 1955. And then this is the back. As Zayed was explaining, we had a large overhang over here, and removing that allows for more passive heating and more sunlight to enter the home in general. It's pretty much like a greenhouse effect is the best way to explain passive heating. Up on the top right is our first floor plan. We have the 3 bedrooms, the kitchen, and then the living room as well. And down here is our basement. Currently it's unfinished, but we have some cosmetic effects coming soon into the future. And we plan to really spice things up down there. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to type them in the chat or unmute yourself. It can be about anything at all, anything you're curious about in a project, anything you don't fully understand, or really more about the importance of what we're doing with a renovation. The main purpose of our project overall is not only for the benefit of whoever's going to be living in this home one day, but also for our neighbors, both locally and nationally, to really show them the benefit, or to show them what they can do with a small budget and with certain circumstances that come with, or challenges that come with renovating a home.
So we got a question. What has been your biggest hurdle working with an existing building? So coming from someone who I've been on the project since day one, and our biggest issue that we have come up with has been a mix of both the asbestos as well as being in a floodplain zone, limiting our capabilities of remodeling. A lot of the things we wanted to do required us to alter the structure of the house, which would have required a lot of remediation, which would have put us over our budget and made us actually have to not only fill in the basement, raise it 3 feet, but also tear down the existing structure and put a new one up. So it's quite the difference.
This project is as real as it gets. Doing a renovation, you could have no idea what you're going to expect when you go into the walls, when you do an inspection. You have no idea what the conditions of the existing home is beyond just looking at it with your eyes on a first glance basis. So Katie, somebody asked, I can help with this one too, the largest improvements that made the largest difference. So do you want to go with that one, or do you want me to take that one?
In my opinion, I think the largest improvement was removing that terrace and opening up that backyard space and creating more light to go into the house, in my opinion. Drew?
I completely agree. That was my favorite change because it really opened up the floor plan to, it's unexpressible in just typical words, what it looked like inside when we originally got into the home. More on the energy system side, some of our biggest improvements were the solar panel PV array on the roof of the home, especially with the 300 plus days of sun in Denver. And then also the R17 retro foam spray insulation, which really helped make a big energy impact.
All right, we do have a question. It's from Juan Pablo. Honestly, I like the design of the home and the efficiency it can provide. Currently, the house is being occupied, or is it just a prototype? I don't remember if you said something about that.
So it is not occupied at this point, and it's also not a prototype necessarily. This will be a prototype in the fact that our plans and our blueprints and our design will be completely open to the public to use us as a prototype, but we will eventually have occupants in this home. It's currently owned by DU and it's going to be rented out to either faculty or to students to really make some affordable housing, which is hard to come by in the city of Denver.
All right, we do have a question from John. The biggest challenges.
I think just unexpected conditions. When you first walk through the home and when you first pick through the home, you really don't know what to expect once you get behind the walls. And in situations like that, we learned we're in a FEMA floodplain, even though if you looked at the little river, it was an extremely small creek, and it's extremely unlikely that it would actually flood. But with that, we're only allowed to spend 50% of the home's estimated value on improvements of the home. There was no insulation in the walls. That overhang was extremely hindering to the view inside the house. And it was a completely outdated design, especially in the kitchen of the home. You're doing renovations, you absolutely never know what to expect. And that's what makes this in large part such a real life project. The typical path for homeowners and developers is to think that their $50,000 or $60,000 won't make a big enough impact in the home, and it's more worthwhile to just demolish that existing home and build something new. This is extremely counterintuitive to creating an energy efficient home, as the pollution created from that demolition would take years for the new home to counteract. But I think the breakout rooms are unfortunately ending. Thank you guys all for coming, and again, feel free to shoot us an email about anything at all.